Hello, student. Okay, let's do the last subtopic of chapter 2. Then we finished chapter 2 already. So in this topic, we are looking for the inverse of a function. Okay, so what is a function first? We need to know what is a function first. Okay, a function can be represented in three different ways. So as an equation, as a function machine, and also as a mapping. Just like, for example, what we have learned is y equal to 2x plus 3. It's just something like equations. So this is what we call as equation. We use symbol x and y to represent some unknown because it keeps changing. So it can be 1, can be 2, can be 3. So every time it changes, the y also change. So when a x is different number, the y becomes different number. So you can write in this format, or you can think of, because we will always start with x, all right? So in this case, you can see from here, in this case, it's actually you multiply by 2, then after that you plus 3, then only equal it to y. So every number of x, let's say 1, you need to multiply 2, then plus 3, then only the total become y, right? So this is called the function machine. It's like telling you what to do first and what to do next. Okay, as a mapping is similar like function, an equation you can see is quite similar. It's still in this kind of format, in algebra format, but then this one, instead of we have equal sign here, instead we are using an arrow here, an arrow. So this is called as a mapping ways to represent a function, three ways. So it actually doesn't matter which one, but you should know they are the same. So basically these three are the same thing and the same thing. Okay, let's see another example, which is this one. Now is y equal to x plus 2, then divide by 4. So in this case, you can see the x has to plus 2 first. Plus 2, then the answer you divide by 4, then only you get the y. Right? That means every time you will replace the x as a number, then you have to plus 2 first, then the total you need to divide by 4, then only you get the final answer of y. Okay, this is very clear, right? So as a mapping, it's the same thing. You see, it's the same thing. This one is still x plus 2 over 4. Then, but this one is x in the arrow sign instead of y equal. All right. Okay, this clear, right? Equation, function, machine, and mapping. Okay, now next, let's see what is function doing. Okay, for example, I'm using y equal to 2x plus 3. So the function machine is telling you that every time the x has to times 2, then plus 3, only you get the y. So this x is called input. Just like, remember I asked you to draw a box inside. When you draw a straight line, it's the same thing. X is the beginning. Then after that you do this process, then the output is y. That means y is the output. All right. As a mapping, you can write in this format also. X arrow sign 2x plus 3. So for example, we are using this as an example. Let's say I have 1 for x as 1. So if 1, then you multiply by 2, you get 2, right? Then 2, then you plus 3. So my y become 5, right? That's why I get y as 5 when the x is 1. Okay, so but then when the x is 3, so you need to 3 times 2, you get 6 here. 6, then you plus 3, that's why your answer of y become 9. The output become 9. So every time you input something, you need to multiply 2, then plus 3, then you get the output here. All right, negative 2 times 2, you get negative 4. Negative 4 plus 3, you get negative 1. All right, so if x is 0, 0 times 2, you get 0. 0 you plus 3, that's why your answer, the output become 3. All right, this is to illustrate, to tell you what is going on. When you have x with different number, you will have y with different output, right? So let's see another example. Okay, I'm using the same thing now. 2x plus 3 still. Okay, you can write in this function machine equation, mapping. Okay, 3 types of things. So I'm using the example just now. So I'm using exactly the same figure just now. So I have 1 become 5, 3 become 9, negative 2 become negative 1, 0 will become 3. So now we are looking for inverse. Right? The inverse means if I have 5, I want to find a formula so that I get back 1. And if I have 9, I need to find another new formula to get back 3. All right? So this is the process. So I have 5 now. You see the arrow is going backwards. So I need to get back 1. 9, will get back 3. -1, get back 2. 3, will get back 0. So I need to find out what is the formula to represent the inverse. So basically, it's quite easy because this is like from left to right. Now it's from right to left. Okay. So notice that just now was the input is X, so the output is Y. So now is the inverse now. So now the output is become X, right? All the output now is X instead of Y just now. Okay. From X now I need to get back the original number here, which is Y right now. So when you do inverse function, you look at this function machine. It's very easy. You go, that's now was left to right. Now it's left, right to left. So to go right to left is totally reverse. So you do this last, you need to do this first. So you need, instead of +3, you need to -3. Right? Plus and minus always contract to each other. Right? So now you just now +3 was last process. Now it become the first process. You need to -3. So just now the first process is ×2. Now become the second process. It becomes divide by 2. All right. So when you go backwards, you have to go from here to here. So you change the sign. Plus become minus. Times become divide. Okay. So in the end, so you can see from here. The number, if I 5, if I -3, I get 2. 2, if I divide by 2, see, I get 1 back. All right. So the same thing, 9, if I -3, I get 6, right? 6 is, I divide by 2, see, I get back 3. So that means this is the answer that we want, the inverse function, where we call it. So -1, if you -3, you get -4. -4, you divide by 2, you get -2, right? So 3 minus 3, you get 0. 0 divided by 2, you also get 0. So that means our function, our inverse function is correct right now. So how are we going to write in, this is function machine method. I want to write in equation method and the mapping method. That will be like this. So that means the X, you need to -3 first. After that, the total divide by 2. So you have to write in this way. Okay. So X -3 divide by 2. So this 2 will be the answer. This 2 is the answer that we want. Okay. This 2 will be the answer that we want. So you can actually write the inverse function as these 3 methods. This is one of the method, one method, one method. This is function machine method, equation method, or mapping method. It depends on the question. Okay. Now let's see another example, another 2 example, a few examples that I'll show you how. So this is the original. X divided by 5, then -2 equal to Y. So when I write as equation, I will have to write like this. Y equal to X divided by 5, then -2. As a mapping method, that is like that. So this is mapping method. Okay. So the second example, X -5 times 3, then get Y. So I will write Y equal to X -5. Then the whole thing, that's why I put bracket. The whole thing you need to multiply 3. You cannot just multiply 3 right at the back here. It's not, is incorrect. That means the X have to -5 first. The answer only you multiply 3. That's why we have to write in this way. As a mapping method, you have to write in this way also. Now we look for the inverse function. Okay, we follow the law. The inverse function again is the reverse. You can see the arrow is going that way. It's different. So instead of this is the first process, this is the second process, right? Now the second process now become our first process. All right, so it become, instead of -2, it become +2. Okay, instead of divide by 5, it becomes ×5. All right, this is how we get answer. So when you write in equation form, this is how Y equal to X +2 first, then ×5. So you can write your answer in this way, right? Bracket ×5. So all the mapping way, you write in this way. Okay, for this question, okay, again, instead of ×3, become divide 3. Instead of -5, become +5. Okay, so when you write in equation form, Y now equal to X divided by 3 first, then plus 5. Notice this, I didn't put plus 5 together with x on top, because you need to get this answer first. X divided by 3 first, the answer only you plus 5. Then you write in this way. This is the correct way. Do not write in some other way. This is the correct way. Okay, so the mapping way is written in this way. So you just have to change y equal become x with the arrow sign. All right, let's try a few more example. Okay, these two questions will be a bit different. So this one, like the mapping, the function is 2 minus x, or y equal to 2 minus x. So if we write in mapping way, I mean a function machine way, it has to be, you can actually write this process in this way. I can write my 2 minus x as negative x plus 2. They are the same. Or instead of I write y equal to 2 minus x, I can write negative x plus 2. So in function machine way, you have to do this. X need to multiply with negative 1 first, so that you get minus x. Then you plus 2, then equal to y. All right. So, and for this question will be x equal, x is mapping with, become like this, negative 1 minus 4x. Right? So you can write y equal to minus 1 plus minus 4x. So you can actually move this in front, become minus 4x minus 1. Or this one, y equal to minus 4x minus 1. Now this is how we can write this in this way. Okay. So in function machine way, so x need to multiply with minus 4 first, then you minus 1, only you get the answer of y. All right. So now look at the inverse. Now we have to do inverse. So if you have this function machine already, it's very clear. The second step, which is plus 2, now become minus 2. Right? Then instead of times negative 1, need to be divided by negative 1. See, so you do not change this minus sign, minus 1, you do not change. You do not change it. You just have to change, multiply, become divide. All right. But this one you need to change because this is plus 2. That's now, but you need to make it minus 2. So when we write in a function, I mean equation way, it's like that. This x, right? This x need to minus 2 first, then divide by negative 1. So you can write in a fraction way, x minus 2 have to be on top, then divide by negative 1. Normally, we don't like to see the fraction in negative form. So we'll change this fraction, become like this, make it into positive. But when you change this to become positive, this one, the on top one, you need to change the sign, because original plus x right now become minus x. Instead of minus 2, now become plus 2. So I have to switch this. 2 minus x now instead of x minus 2, but this one become positive, right? So if this thing divided by 1, also you get 2 minus x, right? So this is the answer. This is the inverse of this, right? So you can see in a mapping way, I can write x becomes 2 minus x, right? So you notice that this answer is exactly with the question just now, all right? That means these two we consider as self-inverse, because no matter you the function is going forward or going backwards, you get the same answer. Okay, 2 minus x is the answer. You can see its original. The original question is also 2 minus x. The inverse also 2 minus x. So we call this situation as self-inverse. All right. Okay. So now let's see this question. On this one, inverse. So the usual way, negative 1 will have to plus 1. Okay. Then times negative 4 become divided by negative 4. All right. So when you write in equation form, you become x plus 1 first, then divide by negative 4. So you can write in fraction way. Okay. And again, I change it to positive 4. If I change to positive 4, you can see not original positive 4 on top here become minus and minus. All right. So you can write this as your answer, or you can change like that. Divide by 4 means times 1 over 4, then brackets just put at the back here. Right? You can write in this way or this way, it doesn't matter. So in a mapping way, this is the answer. I prefer to write in this way because it's understood is negative 1, negative x negative 1 divided by 4. This is the answer. So you can see I already show you a few example of how to do inverse. Basically, if you have this function machine, you just go backwards. When you go backwards, you change the sign. Plus become minus, minus will become plus, divide become times, times become divide. All right. So basically, that's the end of this finding inverse function. So you can proceed with exercise 2.3, page 20 to 21. Every question. So thank you.